Good day, viewer. You are welcome to our online physics class. So, let us look at what? Introduction to what? To physics. As the first chapters we have. The physics is one of the what? Of branches of what? Of science. Which is deal with what? Or can be defined as a branch of science that deal with the study of nature, property of matter, and energy. So the physics is the aspect of science that deal with what? The study of what? Of nature, properties of matters, and what? And energy. So this is now in physics 12. Our major interest in this course is what? Is physics is what? Is science that deal with the study of what? Of nature, study of what? Of nature, and what? Properties of what? Matter, and what? Energy. So our major interest in what? In this aspect of science is what? Is the matter and what? Energy. The nature of matter and energy, and the properties of what? Of matter and what? And energy. And as we all know that what? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. And it is exists in what? In three states: solid, liquid, and what? And gas. And we can also have what? Fourth state, which is what? Is plasma. So when gas is what? Is being ionized, it will give us what? Plasma. So the physics is a what? Is a branch of science that deal with what? The study of nature, properties of matters, and what? And energy. Where energy is what? Is the ability or capacity to what? To do work, and it's measured in what? In joule. So and the next thing we need now here is what? What are the branches of what? Of physics? So in practical field, physics can be broadly classified into two parts. We have what we call what? Classical physics, and then we have what we call what? Quantum physics. So in the quantum physics exists before the what? So the classical physics exists before quantum what? Quantum physics. So there are two branches of what? Branch is of what? Physics. So physics can be classified into what? Into two branches. The first one, what do we have? Here we have what we call what? Classical physics. Classical what? Physics. This classical physics, we can also call it what? Newtonian physics. Newtonian what? Physics. Because the classical physics was invented by the what? Isaac Newton. And the next one we have what we call what? Quantum. Quantum what? Physics. So the classical physics is the aspect of physics that do deal with what? The study of macro objects. This aspect of the physics is deal with what? The study of what? Macro objects. Where the what? The quantum physics is the aspect of what? Of physics that deal with study of what? Of micro of what? Micro objects. A micro what? Object. And this quantum physics is the aspect of science or physics that deal with what? The behavior of what? Of matter and light on atomic particle or an atomic what? Component. So the quantum physics is the aspect of the physics that deal with study of what? Of micro objects. Or is the aspect of the what? Of the physics that deal with what? The behavior of what? Of matter and light on subatomic what? Particle, such as proton, neutron, electron, and others. That's what the quantum physics. So the quantum physics is a modern aspect of the what? Of physics. So the quantum physics come around is around what? 19 what? 00. And this classic physics is also known as what? Newtonian what? Physics, and is aspect of the what? Of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of micro what? Object. And under this classic physics now, we have what we call what? Uh, Under this classic physics, we have what we call Newton's law of motion. We have what we call what? Newton law of gravitation. So under this, we have what we call what? Fluid. So under it, we have what we call optics. Under it, we have what we call sound wave. We can also have thermodynamic. We have also have electromagnetic theory. So these are the words, the common component, the microscopic object we study under classic what? Classic physics. So the quantum physics is also known as what? The modern what? Physics, and it's deal with what? The aspect of physics or science that deal with study of what? Of behavior of matters and light on atomic what? Or on subatomic particle. That I call it what? Micro object. The micro object we have here is subatomic what? Particle, which is known as what? Photon, is known as what? New what? Neutron, which is known as what? What? Electron, and what? And others. So now let us look at what? The other aspect of what? Of physics on classical what? Physics. The first one, we have mechanics. So we are talking about what? Mechanics in what? In physics is a branch of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of motion. Aspect of physics that deal with study of what? Of motion of an object without referring to the what? To the force that causes it to what? To move. We call it what? What? Mechanics. Under it we have what? Kinematics and what? And dynamic. So, and the next aspect here, we can also have what we call what? Thermodynamic. What? Dynamic. The thermodynamic branch of physics, as the name implies, thermo means what? Heat, and dynamic means what? The movement. Is the aspect of what? Of physics that deal with study of what? Of heat change in a system. And under this, we have like three law, zeroth law of thermodynamics, first law, second law, and we also have third law, fourth law. And the next aspect, we also have what we call what? Geophysics. Geophysics is the aspect of science that deal with what? The study of internal structure of what? Of Earth. So the aspect of science that deal with the study of internal structure of Earth is called what? Geophysics. And the another aspect is what? We have atomic physics. Is the aspect of physics that deal with what? The study of atomic structure and its particle. That is what atomic what? Physics is the aspect of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of atomic what? Structure or the component of what? Of atom, which is what? Neutron, proton, and what? And electron. And the next aspect of this, we also have what we call what? We have optics. So this is a branch of physics that deal with study of what? Of light and optical what? Instruments, which is what? The application of what? Of light on the microscope and what? Telescope. That is what? Optics. And the next aspect of physics we also have is hmm, we have electricity and what? And magnet. And magnetism. The electricity and magnetism is the aspect of what? Of physics that deal with the study of charge at what? At rest. And charge in what? In motion. So the charge at rest is what? Is electrostatics. The charge in motion is what? Is called electricity. And their effect with what? With magnets. That is what? Electricity. And what? And the magnetism. The next one we also have what we call what? Nuclear physics. So the nuclear physics is the aspect of what? Of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of nucleus of an atom and the reaction that take place in what? In the nucleus. That's what the nuclear what? Nuclear physics is the branch of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of nucleus of an atom and subatomic particle we have in what? In nucleus of what? Of an atom. We call what? Nuclear what? Nuclear physics. And under this nuclear physics, we have what we call radio what? Radioactivities. So and so on and what? And so forth. We also have what we call plasma physics. We have and others. So that is all about what introduction to the what to the physics. But once again, I said physics is a branch of science that deal with what the study of nature, properties of matter, and its what and energy. And there are two basic types of what of physics. The first one we have classic physics, which is also known as what Newtonian physics, followed by the what and the quantum physics. The quantum physics is the study, a branch of physics that deal with study of what of microscopic objects such as what atomic particle. But this Newtonian physics or classical physics is the aspect of physics that deal with what? The study of what? Of macro objects, which is known as what? Big objects. And the macro object or the classical physics is composed of what? Of Newton's law of motion, gravitational field, fluid mechanics, optics, sound, thermodynamic, electromagnetic what? Theory. And we also have fluid mechanics under branch of what? Of physics. So that's all about the what? The branches of what? Of physics.